There's a feeling that most creators know. You have an idea, a little bit strange maybe, but exciting. And then something weird happens. That good idea starts feeling terrible. And then the voice shows up.
Are you sure about this? What if people don't get it? What if this is weird?
Most of the time we listen to that voice. We make it safer, more normal, more like what already works. And you end up with, yeah, the same stuff as anyone else. But there is something that I discovered after years of making videos professionally, because that moment when a good idea starts feeling like a bad one, that is not a warning sign. It is actually the most important signal that you have. And once you understand why, I guarantee that you will never look at your ideas the same way again. I make YouTube videos full-time right now, but it took me a long time to understand this feeling that I kept having. So stay with me for a moment and let me tell you this story. It started when I was a student over 10 years ago. Me and my best friend started making videos together. It was nothing serious, just funny sketches, and it was just two guys with a camera having fun. And somehow companies and brands started reaching out to us. So long story short, that's how the video agency started, and that would decide the next 7 years of my life. So for the first years that felt really incredible, of course, because we were just doing what we loved and somehow getting paid for it. But then something shifted. Once we could actually make a living from it, it stopped feeling like a hobby. And of course that felt really good as well, because that's all that we ever wanted. But there was also another side to it, because now we also had something to lose. And I think this is what's happening to a lot of creators right now as well. There is this enormous pressure to do things the right way. And it makes sense because the algorithms reward what already works. But the funny thing is, this is what I already saw back then as well with our own clients. Because some of them really wanted to stay within what was normal and safe and predictable and what their competition was doing, like everything else out there. And of course we would make those videos for the clients, and those videos would look fine and nobody would criticize them. But there was always also this feeling that something was missing, and I think you could feel it every time. But let me show you what happened when we finally stopped playing it safe, because we made a decision to make something that kind of broke every rule of how you were supposed to do it, but it changed everything for us. But before I get into that story, a quick word about the sponsor of this video, Audiio. So I think I don't have to tell you that finding the right music for a video is one of those things that can completely change the feeling of what you're making. Audiio has a really solid catalog of high quality music from indie artists and composers, and they keep adding new tracks every week, which is really nice. But the thing that I think stands out is their AI search tool called Hans, because you can just describe the mood or the feeling that you're looking for, and it finds tracks that actually match that feeling, which saves a lot of time. One subscription gets you unlimited music, sound effects, and also all their AI tools, and it covers you for basically everything, for YouTube, social media, but also client work and podcasts, and any track that you download stays licensed to that project forever, even if you cancel later. Right now they are offering 70% off your first year of Audiio Pro if you use my code. So you can go to audio.com/timrunia and use the code timrunia at checkout. I think it's a really good deal, so if you're looking for music for your videos, check it out. Okay, now back to the story. So we decided at one point that we needed a new show reel for our agency. And if you know anything about the video production world, show reels really matter a lot. They are basically your entire pitch. And there were a lot of good agencies out there. They would always come up with their best shots, with fast cuts, and part of me wanted to do exactly that, because we had good work too, and we could have made something that would fit in and also make us feel like we were doing the right thing. But then we thought, okay, we make brand videos. We like to have fun, we like to tell stories, so why would our show reel look exactly like everyone else's? So instead what we did was a little bit weird. We cast an old man to tell our company story, and we made the whole thing kind of meta, showing us actually directing the video inside the video itself. This is not how you make a show reel at all. I will show you in a bit how it turned out, but even while we were making it, that feeling was loud. You know, would people still take us seriously? Should we really show ourselves like this? And is this actually good or is it just weird? But we finished it and we put it out. So I want to show you a short part of it. It's already made like 6 years ago, but back then it changed everything. So just have a look.
So, you must be wondering, who is Tante Tini? Well, short version, it's these two guys. Yes, I know, it's disappointing, right? Better question. What does Tante Tini do? Let me tell you that story. Are you ready? It started off back in the days as two friends were making fun, making a lot of videos and doing stupid shit. Now fast forward, that turned out in them creating videos for all these cool clients. Why, you ask? Apparently they come up with the greatest concepts for video. Things that get you grinning, ecstatic, raise the heartbeat, or just make you stop scrolling. Jesus, guys. Did you write this yourselves?
Yeah, John, keep it going. Beautiful, beautiful.
The most unbelievable and extraordinary...
So I do think it turned out amazing in the end, and a lot of people loved it and the comments were really kind, but of course not everyone did. You know, some people probably thought it was too weird or not professional enough and just not their style, but that is okay because the people who did get it, they called us specifically because of that video. And those clients that we got from through that video, they gave us even more creative freedom and more money even than other clients had before. And even more important is this, something shifted after that in how we saw ourselves, because our confidence grew and we started trusting our own ideas much more, not just in a showreel, but in everything we made, also for our clients. And I really started to wonder, what if that feeling that comes up all the time wasn't telling me that the idea was bad, but it was actually pointing me towards something. So it took a while for that to really sink in, but years and years later, when I finally decided to start this YouTube channel, that same feeling came back immediately. And my first YouTube video felt incredibly exposing because it was just me and my ideas, and it felt terrible in many moments of the process, and that voice was really loud. And I mean, there's a part of myself in it, of course, but also it feels just really vulnerable, and I feel like I don't want to do this, you know, like it's not, I'm starting to have second guesses about what the hell am I saying in this video? This is not even good, you know, and I still feel it, even now, even with this video sitting here, every time when I try something that feels a little bit new or a little bit different, that voice still shows up. But now I know what that means. And the reason it feels so terrible is actually simple. The moment you have something to lose, whether it's a following or your reputation, your brain just starts protecting you. It tells you to play safe, to do what already works, and to make more like everything else that's already out there. Because that feels less risky. But what I've learned through all those years of filmmaking is that the ideas that feel most uncomfortable are really the ones where that voice becomes the loudest, and that are always the ones that are worth making. Because the world doesn't need more safe ideas, it just needs more of something that only you can make, because that will really connect with people. So if you are sitting on an idea right now, something that feels a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit too much unlike what everyone else is doing, and there's a voice telling you that it's probably a bad idea, you now know that that feeling is not a warning, but it's the whole point. And if you have ideas but you're not sure how to turn them into actual stories that are worth watching, that is exactly what I created the Story Starter Kit for. It walks you through the whole process step by step, and if you're interested in that, you can find the link in the description. Or you can watch this video next if you want to learn how to turn your idea into a strong story right now. That video is a great next step. Now, whatever you do, go make the thing. Go make something. Follow your ideas. Follow your intuition and do it.
What a piece of...
Do it.